Okay, so now you have finished mixing your individual tracks for each section and you have shared them to music. Now we are going to import those tracks from music into your final mixing project and create your final soundtrack. So I have an open project here that has the instruments in it already. So I'm going to retrieve from music. I'm going to retrieve my 4 tracks for each part, and I want to make sure my cursor is at the beginning, and I'm going to just drag and drop. So I'm going to drag sopranos, I'm going to drag altos, get that out of the way. Come on now. There we go. Tenors and bass. Okay, so let's listen. I can tell already that we're not matched up. And so we're going to start there. Open my editor. Now I know that this is where the singing actually begins, so I'm just going to line them up with that part. So I'm just going to get these lined up, and you already know how to do this, so we'll just get them lined up and then we'll start listening. Sometimes it's easier to make your window smaller so that you can line them up. I'm moving them all over the place, so I'm gonna get them done and let's listen. Okay, we got a problem there. So I can see that is off visually. Let me see if I just... Now I'm looking at the guitar downbeats, and these are all on a downbeat. So let's see if we can line up. If you remember, the intro, the very beginning of a wave is not necessarily the best spot to line up. And so I usually wait till I'm a little bit into the music, and then we can, because people, if they're off at the very beginning, they usually catch up. And if a section is off at the beginning, they usually catch up. So let's see where that puts us. Keep me at even. Keep me at morning. Keep me at noon. Healer of my soul. So I think we're pretty well lined up. I'm gonna boost up the instruments just a little bit, and I'm gonna take the volume of the singing down so we can sort of get a balance of voices to instruments. Then I'm gonna balance the parts within one another. So first let's try that. That's better. Tenors are a little loud. I'm going to boost the bass up just a little. And take the altos up a little bit. Okay, so I usually I listen through with headphones, without headphones, 4 or 5 times, and I listen with my eyes closed so that I can just hear if anything is popping out as being not, if it just sounds like it doesn't belong in the mix. So I do that several times. And the only other thing that I really do once we get sort of the balance and the blend about right, and I picked this song because it's pretty consistent throughout. Like there's not a section where the women get real loud or a section where it's a pretty sort of lyrical all the way through song. So what I'm going to do when I'm happy with my blend and my balance of instruments and singing is I'm going to add reverb to the vocals. You don't want to add reverb to the instruments because it makes them sound mushy and they don't need it. But the vocals really benefit from not being quite so dry. It helps cover transitions. It helps covers little bits that are out of tune. So let me show you how to do that. I'm going to start with the sopranos, and I'm going to click on that line so that my track is highlighted all the way through. Then I'm going to click up here, and this is my controls. So I'm going to click on that, and it's going to show up down here. So I've got, it's on reverb. It can either be on reverb or echo. I don't use echo. I use reverb. And it gives you some options of some presets. And so I have it on low, soft reverb. Sometimes I'll use church. This is definitely a soft sort of sound. We could try like reflective room. We'll try those two and see how they sound. So I'm going to isolate the sopranos by clicking on the headphones. And this is my slider, which shows me how much reverb I'm putting in. So we're going to start with about 25%. And we'll just listen to the sopranos. All right, I'm going to switch to reflective room. Makes it a little bit brighter. With all the vibrato for the sopranos, I think I like the low soft better. And I bumped it up just a little bit. Let's listen a little bit more. Okay, it just sort of smooths them out a little bit. All right, so that's going to be kind of my model. I'm going to use low soft reverb on all of them. So now we're going to go to the altos. And it's on low soft reverb. Altos, there we go. And we're going to put it about 25%, see how it sounds. Keep me at noon. Now add a little bit more. You can hear how the little bit of reverb after the end of the, when you push stop. And by the way, I'm pushing play and start just by hitting my space bar. You can do it up here. Or that's play, and that'll show a stop when you push play. But I just do it by hitting the space bar. So I'm going to add just a little bit more. Okay. Let's see where that gets us. All right, now let's go to the tenors. We'll give them about that much. Let's back it up a little bit, get into the meat of the song. Keep me at noon, healer of my soul. Okay, that sounds good to me. Now let's go to the bass. Click, highlight the bass, and add about, I guess I'm doing 30 to 40% now. At morning, keep me up. Okay, let's see if that tuning issue gets resolved when we get everybody in there. So let's try it with everybody. See how it sounds. My soul, keep me at ease. Keep me at morning. I'm just going to make tweaks as I I listen. Okay, so I've got a rough mix going here. I'm going to start kind of at the beginning and just listen for a little bit. And you're going to see me make tweaks on the sliders or maybe even on the reverb as I'm listening. Okay, so that's the gist, and really it sounds really different on headphones, so it's pretty important for you to do this part on a pair of pretty good headphones. So you don't have to buy $500 headphones, but you should probably spend 50 or 75 on them, and they need to be pretty flat, close to your head. So after I'm finished with my final mixing, when I've decided I'm happy with it, I'll just give you, let me show you this. We're going to show our automation like we would do if we're fixing tracks. So let's say that there's this part where the tenors just get too loud and we don't want to turn down their volume for the whole rest of the song, but there's just one part. So I'm going to do what I would do if I was repairing a track, and I'm going to put my 4 little dots. And then I'm just going to take the volume of that section down just a little bit in that part. I'll listen to it again, see if I need to adjust the volume, but that's a way that you can affect dynamics in your final mix. Okay, so when you're ready and you've got it the way you want it, you feel pretty good about it. And if you're not a super musical person, have some other people listen to it with you. Have some other people say, doesn't it sound like the men are a little too high or the instruments aren't loud enough? Just get some other input if you don't trust yourself musically. Then we're going to do just what we did before, and we're going to share the song to music, which will send you one MP4 to your music program, which will then become the soundtrack to your video.